Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, Trap and Roll Soap Company, Tape Armor, and Rolls Gear. And you can find all of our old episodes at bjjshow.com. I'm Rob, and if you're like me, it's been a long couple weeks for sure because we are currently in a lockdown for the most part. And it's kind of hard to do any sort of training or, to keep our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills up. So me and Randy kind of discussed a little bit about dealing with the quarantine / lockdown, and how it's affecting us and what we've been doing and how some people should probably be more known for their jiu-jitsu skills and their science-based skills. But if you guys like this episode, don't forget to like and review us on iTunes, subscribe to our YouTube, and follow us on Facebook, and we hope you guys enjoy this episode. But yeah, the love of baking. I was very excited about that.
Well, you gotta have a way to stay busy. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what new skill I want to acquire with all this extra time that I've got.
The baking thing just kind of, I don't know, it just came out because everybody was panicking about bread. I'm like, dude, there's fucking bread everywhere here. And I was like, well, why don't I just try to make bread? I made bread, then turned into bagels, and then I made a pizza. So,
those are all delicious things.
Yeah, it was a pizza day. I made sure I had to work out for that one, though. Otherwise, I was going to...
Have you seen the Barstool Sports guy that does like the pizza breakdowns? Have you seen any of his videos?
Yeah, I think we talked about that once. So actually pretty... what was it? Me and also James Hoffman mentioned to me about that. Like the guy giving reviews and like he never gives a perfect review or something like that.
He doesn't, but now he's doing, because of the whole pandemic, he's doing the frozen pizzas. He's reviewing frozen pizzas. It's pretty funny, but he won't go above like a 7 for him. He just won't. He says it's frozen pizza, and you can't rate it on the same scale that you would normal pizza.
That's actually, that's a pretty good rate. I can get behind that. I mean, there are some pretty good frozen pizzas out there.
Well, he did my 2 favorites. He did Red Baron and Freschetta.
Oh shit! I definitely check those out. Oh, you probably hit up one of mine then too.
He gave Freschetta pretty shitty reviews, man. Oh, but Red Baron knocked it out of the park. So dope. Red Baron's the shit.
Have to switch up my frozen pizza then. So
that's about the only pizza I can make. So
So before we get too deep into pizza territory, this is the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. I'm Rob.
I'm Randy. And
it's day 30 of our. No, wait, no. When did they do the stay-at-home order for North Carolina? It was a couple weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is like week 2 officially of the stay-at-home order, but week 3, I think, of the whole thing.
Yeah, closing certain businesses down, including gyms, no gatherings. Now we're at less than 10 people, and I'm kind of losing my fucking mind, dude.
I'm right there with you. Absolutely.
It's like I'm we were talking about, was it, I said baking, you said trying to find something to do to pick up on something. Like, we're at minimum manning where I am, so that means at least 1 extra day off a week, so my 4-day weekends turned to 5-day weekends, and I really just wanted to pick up a skill, and baking was definitely, I wanted to, not like cookies and stuff like that, like bread and bagels. I made bagels, that turned out alright, but pizza I think I was the happiest with.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what my new skill is going to be. I'm leaning toward learning how to play the guitar. But
oh, dude, that is actually a really good skill, I'd imagine.
I don't know. I'm leaning toward. I guess I'll have to order it offline since you can't go anywhere.
Yeah. Dude, fucking everything's closed and lack of jiu-jitsu. Like, it's bad enough that like when you're injured and you can't do jiu-jitsu, that you're just like, it's out there. It's like, but there is no jiu-jitsu out there except for like. I guess we'll get to that. Some people are still running classes, for which not a huge fan of, but it's there's no jiu-jitsu to be had, so we got to continue our ways that we talked about with continuing to improve ourselves without doing jiu-jitsu.
Right. I mean, I think that at this point, if you're still open as a jiu-jitsu school, you're part of the problem at this point,
it's kind of like injury, in fact, now that I think about it. So we can either just buckle down and take a couple months off, right? And, let ourselves heal up, or let this whole thing run over. Or just, keep doing it, and eventually we're going to just continuously have this going, like the virus or whatever going on.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you got to figure that, the overall strategy seems to be, I mean, I'm not an expert, but overall strategy seems to be to kind of flatten the curve, so at least the medical field can stay in pace with what's going on with the virus, and also to kind of slow down the spreading of it, right?
Yeah.
But we're not going to have a true vaccine for another, what do they say, like 12 months probably?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the earliest thing I saw was they're working on some kind of treatment for the virus from SARS vaccines that they've modified to recognize the COVID-19 disease.
Yeah.
But even that, the earliest that's going to be out is September. And so, you're looking at a pretty long time frame if we don't do the right thing and kind of go at it the hard way, which the hard way is we got to keep to ourselves for a little while until this dies down. So, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's just like an injury. And just like with an injury, there are other areas of your game that you can improve at. It doesn't mean you can't do anything. And I think that this is a good test, too, as to how passionate you are about jiu-jitsu. I mean, how many people are going to quit jiu-jitsu during this time frame?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's pretty much just like, were you doing jiu-jitsu because it was convenient, or were you doing jiu-jitsu because you loved it? Like you
exactly.
said,
Yeah.
and like it could be one or the other, and there's no right or wrong. Honestly, I feel like there's no right or wrong answer for that, because it's kind of one of those, like, if you continue to do it enough, you are going to love it, or you're going to you're going to hate it. I don't know, but I feel like if you're doing it, fine, you're in it. But now is the time to figure out, like, what you can do more of to keep up your skills, stay fresh, improve yourself in some way. Because I'll be honest, man, I was not expecting it to go this long with, like, kind of the lockdown or whatever. But what was it? Virginia now is doing a not a shelter in place, but kind of like a stay at home, minimal going out until June 10th. That's friggin' 2 months from now, man.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That is.
It's a really long time. I think around here they're looking at like April 30th, but then they'll look to see if they have to extend beyond that.
Yeah.
It's wild. I mean, I just, what, we're gonna have to have a pour one for our blue belt homies after this, because the blue belts are gonna be the first ones to go.
We're gonna have no blue belts in any academies after this, because we've already given them the out. Like, the schools are closed. You can't do anything, so they're just gonna leave. That's okay. We'll get more. We'll make more. It's just the way it is.
Yep.
Or I don't know. Like, maybe this will be the resurgence of blue belts, because all the other guys might just kind of fall off. I feel like we might have more white belts quit than blue belts quit, honestly, because now is the time for them to kind of really start getting into a habit of going to class or training and stuff like that. And
True.
It's you got an extended break, and it's time to. It's kind of like going on when you're in the military, going on leave for too long. You don't want to go back. Like, you're gone for a month. Holy shit, a month of leave was great and terrible at the same time. I did not want to go back the first time I took a month of leave.
Well, see, I think that's the same reason why I think it's important that if you're passionate about jiu-jitsu, you need to keep training, doing something on your own, so that you stay in the routine and the regimen of doing it. It's still in your mind.
Yeah.
If you just quit cold turkey, you're probably not going to go back, or at least it's going to take you longer to go back when all this is over. Mm-hmm. Those of us that have been in this game for a while, as soon as those doors open, it's going to be like a floodgate for us. We're going right back.
Oh yeah.
But it's tough. It's real tough. I hate to even say it, but I think it's funny that I saw it online. Somebody made a meme or a post or whatever, and they said, this should be a good testament to the anti-vax population. This is one virus that we don't have a vaccination for, and the whole world gets shut down for how many months? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a testament for vaccines, if you ask me.
Oh, dude, I agree 100% on that, man. Like, modern healthcare is here for a reason, and And also, if you believe that 5G is the cause of this, please stop listening to our podcast because just don't listen to us anymore.
Or if you think that drinking Corona will give you the coronavirus, right?
Yeah, no, I already tested that out. It doesn't work.
Me too. I was hoping I'd be like immune to it if I drank enough of them, but
after work, usually if we have a long set, we'll do like after work beers or whatever, and they brought Corona. I was like, this is very fitting. So I had like 2 of them. I'm like, I feel fine. I don't feel anything. So yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Yep. But so how many gyms have you heard that have actually remained open?
I've seen one. One caught a lot of heat online on Reddit especially, or Instagram was I think it was Tom DeBlass's gym, and I think Gordon Ryan was keeping his open too. But it's more or less it was a what was it? Be tough. If you're tough enough, you'll survive this type thing. Which being tough is great, man. But there's a fine line between being tough and stupid. It's a very fine line.
Yeah, and it's not about being tough when your body literally has no immunity to it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like you can fucking use the sheer force of will or whatever, however you want to call it, and this coronavirus will still put you in the ground.
Yeah, and my whole philosophy on it is this, and I posted this on my Facebook too, because I had some friends. I think most of them have wised up at this point, eating their words, but I had a lot of people that just weren't abiding by the rules that were set forth, and it kind of pissed me off a little bit. And I posted, I was like, you know what? I'm a pretty healthy guy. I take care of myself. I eat right. I work out. Sleep enough. Do all the right things where I can. So I feel like the odds are, I can't guarantee it, but the odds are if I were to get this virus, it wouldn't take me out. I'd be sick. We'd all get sick from it, but I don't think it would take me out. And I'd recover, and that's great. And then I'd have immunity potentially. That's great. But that's not what it's about, right? It's not about you. It's not about me. And I'm not going to go the route of talking about the elderly folks and compromised immune system. I mean, that should matter to us, right? But I'm not going to go there. Where I'm going to go with this is, if you want to get back into training, if you want to get back on the mats, and you want to get back to being able to go to the bar and pound some beers with your buddies, whatever it is that you like to do in a social setting, if you want to get back to that shit, then you got to abide by the rules so this goes away. Because the longer we do what we want, the longer this is going to get stretched out. And that comes back to jiu-jitsu with these gyms remaining open. It's like if you want to get back to having a full gym again, then you got to abide by the rules.
So yeah, we got to do what we can, kind of flatten the curve like we talked about. So what can we do? What are some resources out there right now that we can use to, continue our training or whatever? Because I'll say, what was it? Like right now I did, for strength and conditioning, I picked up that John Wick resistance band exercise. And I'll tell you, man, I will never make fun of resistance band circuit training or whatever ever again. Like, ever again. Because I was like, oh, dude, it's a fucking resistance band. How hard can it be? Keanu Reeves is like 50-something. And then I was like, but he was doing all this jiu-jitsu, and the way I read through, it's supposed to be good for joints and whatnot. And then I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll try it out. But it's resistance band, so I'll pick the strongest resistance. Dude, I was fucking smoked at the end of that. Because I did it rapid succession, like back to back to back, like it's supposed to be. And
yeah, you sent it to me. I plan on giving it a shot either this week or next week. Because I've added bands recently into my fitness regimen anyway.
Yeah.
I do some barbell movements and some pull-ups and different variations of push-ups and core stuff. But the bands, they're great because you get that negative resistance piece as well. So it's tough, man. If anybody underscores the value of resistance band training, that means they just haven't tried it yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I felt like real bad afterwards because I was doing it because where I got my elliptical, my wife's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "I did not think it was going to be that tough."
Yeah.
I was like, "It's fucking resistance band." Like I did this shit when I had like ACL surgery. They're like, "All right, put your foot in and then again looking back, they're like the really thin ones, not like these these ones that you can launch water balloons with and shit like that. Like those rough ones, man. So I'm gonna continue doing that. There's like 2 or 3 different circuits with it. And they want you to do it 2 or 3 times. So, like, each circuit 2 or 3 times, 20 reps. It's 4 exercises, not too bad. It should take you like 30 minutes, but. And then I did a little bit of stretching, and then I pulled out a gi top and started doing some just movement with like spider guard, making sure I could still spin around, and not really spin around because I have nobody to spin around on, but still get all my foot placement and still can shimmy on my back. Trying to get
that's smart.
Yeah, proper. But that's pretty much it for me. Between that and elliptical, and I guess watching some videos, my jiu-jitsu coach, Josh Cooksley, is putting out a whole series of videos. Like, he put them up on the it's a group for his school. So he's like, I think I'm going to put them up on YouTube, and they're really good, just concepts, and I mean, it'll run you through basics all the way up to some advanced stuff. So I've been really going through that since I really, really like his style and kind of want to emulate that. It's the old, like, shoulder pressure, make the person hate their life when you're on top of them jiu-jitsu. So absolutely want to continue that.
Yeah, I've been staying on my fitness pretty good. I bought double end bag, put that up in my garage gym, and I've got a tie bag now that I'm just waiting for the wall mount to get here so I can put it up. Yeah, it's a pretty slick looking wall mount. I can't wait to try it out. It juts out from the studs in the wall, and then you put the bag on it, but then when you don't want to use it, the wall or the mount, it rotates and like goes back up against the wall.
Oh shit.
So the punching bag will go with it and be up against the wall, so it doesn't take up any space when you're not using it. So just kind of makes efficient use of the garage space I got. So, but I've been doing like yesterday. I did a big circuit, basically working the double end bag for a round, and then in between rounds of double end bag work, I put up little small index cards with like a bullseye target on it, basically, that I just drew on there. And I put them in different elevations and places in the garage, 360 degrees around me. And I had my rifle and my pistol, and I basically just worked target acquisition and footwork drills with that. And then at the end, and also mixed in some kettlebell work and some shadow boxing. But at the end of that, I did about an hour of that. And so at the very end, I just did some dry fire drills using the paper targets, just making sure that my trigger squeeze is, on point.
Perfect.
So it's just finding different ways, and I think it's the same thing with your jiu-jitsu or warrior kickboxing, whatever martial arts style it is that you train. Hopefully, you're on this podcast, it's jiu-jitsu, but it's just finding different ways to work things, right? I mean, you can shrimp, you can stand and base, you can do sit-outs, you can do the kind of the gymnastica naturale that you talked about, mix in some fitness with it, watch some videos, you can make flow charts for your game, to me, when you're injured, the perfect thing to do is find the holes in your game and then find the things that you're going to potentially use to fill them, and that's the way that I use instructional videos and things of that nature. Is like, okay, this is my game, I love the Kimura, so I picked up the, we'll talk about that in a second, I'm sure he's not the most popular in the world, but I picked up the Tom DeBlas Kimura domination video that he put out, because he put out that free video. So I pick that up and I kind of find ways to connect my Kimura game to the leg lock game, to all these different things, and I write it out, and then these are the things I want to work on when it's time to come back. So that's what I'm doing.
Nice. It's something, man. You gotta, whatever it is you do that can make life a little easier or do whatever. It just, fuck, man. It sucks not being able to train with others. I think that's the big thing about jiu-jitsu is it's definitely a partner-based martial arts style. Like, you have to train with a partner, and you have to, roll and spar and do all that stuff to really, make sure you're hitting your timing and you make sure you're getting the move right and all this stuff. But, like you said, we got to make do with what we got, which is the worst part.
Yeah, I agree. It's rough, man. I keep falling back on. I'm big on the stoicism. I think I've talked about that a couple times in the podcast. So I read a lot of books on that with my spare time too. And one of the quotes I keep coming back to is, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." And that was by Marcus Aurelius. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now, right? So
Yeah.
we have this thing that's stopping us from doing what we really want to do. And so you can respond to it in a number of different ways. You can just give up and become lethargic and be a fat ass on the couch,
Yeah.
or you can make this challenge the way. You can make this what makes you be better, basically. And so it's finding ways to work with your current circumstance, and you just got to make the best out of it, man. We can get better in different areas during this void right now. But at least if nothing else, you know that motherfucker that beats you every day at the gym is not getting any better either, right?
That's true. That is true.
He's not doing shit either.
Yeah, on the kind of same leg of stoicism and stuff, I'm trying to look at more of a maybe positive, like the positives you can get out of this. I mean, so even though we're stuck at home and we're doing what we can to maintain some sort of training regimen, trying to give a little normal. God damn it, I can't even say that word. Normalcy. There you go. Whatever. God. To our lives, then we're I'm looking at this almost like a deployment, where all it was working and then trying to find things to do in your free time, whatever free time you may get, to keep you from going nuts. And like we said, baking or exercise or doing something. So now it's more, to me, it's more of a challenge of, what can I do today, like you said, to better myself. And now it's like every day I gotta see like what else I can do, or like what improved, or how can I get better at it. Because like, I'll tell you right now, man, I definitely didn't want to do another circuit workout because I'm actually kind of sore from it. But fucking believe it that I did, because you got to. Like now it's day 2 of me trying to do this thing. Now that I've got like all this free time, my fucking like sad boohoo, we're in shelter in place moments kind of over. Like now it has to be routine. And now that's the only way, like, I feel like some people are going to combat this. Because also, if you're floating around on social media too much, I feel like that's going to fuck you up too.
Yeah.
Like, nothing wrong with being on social media, but now if you're on it, like, in this environment, it's going to really, like, I think it's going to fuck with you a little bit now. Because it's everybody else talking about something. Take 3 hours. I'd say 3 hours just because I'm getting a little maybe crazy with it. But don't even, like, outside of like work or whatever, don't even worry about the phone. Don't even worry about your laptop. Listen to a podcast. You can listen to us, obviously.
Of course.
But do something, man. Like there was something just peaceful about making bread by myself, or being in my, like, workout area, doing that circuit, and nobody fucked with me. Or like we were talking, like I mainly work on reloads because my pistol reloads are pretty good. My rifle reloads really need some work, especially now that I got that left-handed mag release on my AR. But
nice.
Yeah, dude, I'm cursed to be a lefty. But it's stuff like that. Like, find something. Otherwise, you are going to fall into this trap of being down. And it's okay to, like, get down, but fuck, if you do something to kind of keep your mind off of it, this will pass. And yes, there is shit that's going on out there that's outside of our control, like people getting laid off, all the other stuff, like, but we gotta do what we can, man. That's all we really can do right now.
Well, and if nothing else, I think jiu-jitsu, especially if you've been doing it for a while and you made it through the misery of being a white belt and getting smashed. You made it through the blue belt blues, and then purple belt. If you're at that level, the sheer grind and patience and resolve it takes. That's something that we've acquired. That's a skill and a quality that we all have in jiu-jitsu, and that's what you need to pull from right now. That's the technique that you got to do right now. Is you just got to be patient, and you got to be tough and get through it. So, I can't wait, man. I really can't wait to get back on the mats. I just, like you said, it's okay to get down. couple days ago, man, I was feeling it. You know, martial arts has always been an outlet for me through any hard times I came across in life, and you know, to be limited in the way that I can express myself in martial arts is tough. But that's the key to it, right? You're just limited right now. It's not gone. It's just limited. You got to be creative. You got to find new ways to do it for now. So.
But we'll make it, dude.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu is similar to wrestling. They say like once you've wrestled, everything else is easy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like it's. I always think about no matter what. I remember Brian Mingy telling me that he was like, my whole point was to because he would just crush me with Neon Belly, like in the beginning. He would just fucking make me eat shit, and was looking back like I'm glad he did that, but at the time it was terrible, like absolutely terrible. But he was like, I want you to be able to have like a Buick parked on you and you not freak out. I'm like,
right,
that's fair. I mean, that's immense pressure, and if you can handle like physical pressure like that, yeah, your mental fortitude and your mental resilience jumps up quite a bit as well.
Absolutely. And then I got to say too to the law enforcement, military, first responders of any kind out there that are listening that do jiu-jitsu, you have a higher obligation to stay active and find a way to continue to improve your skill set, because our jobs don't stop just because all this is going on. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are getting almost like a little vacation out of this. Not us, right? We're still out there doing it. So, and I have a prediction that the longer this stretches out, it's not gonna stay quiet like it's been. It's gonna start getting bad. Domestics, people are gonna start getting tired of being in the same roof with each other. You get people breaking into businesses because they're getting desperate. You know, so gotta stay sharp on your skills as much as you possibly can in times like these. Can't use this as an excuse to get lazy. So.
Yeah, not at all, man. So, before we go, one training tool or resource, we'll say videos this time, that you would suggest our listeners and supporters and friends utilize, that you enjoy.
Videos?
Yeah, that you enjoy. Do videos this time. We'll do something else next time.
All right. I mean, like I said, my thing is you've got a lot of instructors out there that are graciously putting out free material. So I would hit up BJJ Fanatics or any similar website, you know, and I would find one video that highlights your A game and find ways to make it even better, and find another video that incorporates a void or weakness in your game. So for me, I really enjoy the butterfly guard video that, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. Of course, I forget it right when I'm about to talk about it. The Polish guy.
Oh.
That does butterfly guard. I forgot his name right now. But his butterfly guard video is really good. I want to get the Marcelo Garcia one, but I'm not going to drop $185 on an instructional right now.
Yeah.
And Tom DeBlass's half guard domination video are two of my go-tos right now. That's what I'm going with.
Excellent. I'm going to go with longtime friend of the show, Andrew Smith's BJJ Encyclopedia. Amazing resource. I would check it out as well, the way he's linked everything together. I would also check out, if I had to pick somebody's, of course, Kurt Osiander. If you can deal with the language, always like a good kind of. That's kind of how I started in jiu-jitsu, not with Kurt, but like similar attitudes of like, you know, this isn't for fun and, you know, rolling around for sport. It's for fighting. So I think a lot of his similar attitude comes from that. So that's kind of why I like it. And just honestly too, I think BJJ Globetrotters has a lot of videos online as well if you can find them. So a lot of good material there from a whole bunch of different instructors. And utilize your grappling dummy, or you can make a grappling dummy. My dogs don't work very well for grappling dummies because they bite too much. But like, you know, Krieger just like not bite hard, but you know, obviously. And then he also ate 2 gis, so I gotta,
no.
Yeah, dude. He chewed a hole in my Black Ops. Was it freaking the Origin Black Ops lightweight? And then he chewed the little frayed piece at the end of my Atleta. So he's lucky. He's lucky. He's cute, man. But I can't do gi jiu-jitsu with him. It has to be all no gi.
Yeah, I mean that's. Hey, I guess you gotta get new gis now, right?
Yeah, dude. Well, I picked up a bunch from the camp, so we're good. We're all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, Trapper Roll Soap Company, Tape Armor and Rolls Gear, and find all of our old episodes at bjjshow.com. I'm Rob.
I'm Randy.
And we'll catch you guys next time.